matadors wear red is to hide the bull's blood.
Aw, poor bully bull. That makes matadors a bully.
Yes.
Yeah, I am not to down other cultures, but I have never been a fan of the idea of bullfighting once I realized everything it entailed. Because essentially, they stab the bull a lot before it ever gets out there. And then, so it's already mad.
Jeez.
It's already mad when it gets out there, and it wants to tear the guy apart. And basically, he dodges this bull that is losing blood until he can stab it some more. It's a cruel sport, if you want my opinion, and I'm not a fan. Not to down...
Poor thing.
We have fans in Mexico, we have fans in Spain, or I don't know, fans, people who listen. And if bullfighting is your thing, okay, but I want no part of it. It's just, it's always seemed really
gruesome.
cruel.
That's gruesome. That's terrifying. That probably... Ooh, I would not want to be a bull. No. No. Anyways, that was it for today's facts.
Thank you.
Or Krista's today's fact.
Oh, thank you, Krysta. You're amazing.
I'm in a bad mood. I shouldn't have yelled at you.
What do you mean you're in a bad mood?
I was in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood. I don't know.
I can tickle you.
Don't tickle me. Please.
That will not help the bad mood.
It'll probably make it worse.
I could tell you puns.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay,
I'm feeling bullish.
We just established that she does not care for us.
I didn't laugh. I was coughing. You didn't hear anything.
So let's talk about Skinwalker Ranch and the area around it. It's located in the Skinwalker Basin. Now, there's another name for this basin, the I can't even. There's another name for the basin, and it's a Ute Indian word. Because the basin before it was inhabited by white people, it was inhabited by Native Americans and people of the Navajo tribe, people of the Ute tribe. Now, sometimes they were friends and allies and they would fight together. Sometimes they were enemies and they would fight against one another. And sometimes they just raided each other for stuff. And they weren't in a state of war at the time. It's just the Utes came over, kicked our butts, and took a few of our ladies with them. I don't know why. Let's go kick their butts and take a few of their ladies.
I see.
That sort of thing.
Gotcha.
So, and Skinwalker Canyon is actually home to something else called Dark Canyon. Now, if you listen to the Native Americans, Dark Canyon is where the Skinwalkers are, and they don't want anybody who's not native going there. They will go out of their way to keep you out of that area. Because Skinwalkers, in the native tradition, are bad mamma-jammas.
Mamma-jammas?
These guys or girls...
Or females, or any gender.
Right. They're witches, but... A witch in Native American tradition is not bound to a female. It could be a male. In fact, more often than not, it tends to be. Mm-hmm. But they have had contact with something dark. And it has done things to their soul. They are not nice. They have no problems killing. And they can take the shape of animals and other people. If you look them in the eye, they can take your soul.
Just by looking you in the eye?
Mm-hmm.
Heck no.
And if they're in the form of an animal and you look in their eyes, they have the human eyes, so you know who they are. But they know who you are, too.
That's scary. No.
Skinwalkers are not known for their niceness. They're called that because they walk around in the skins of animals, and these things, their reputation is bad. These are the demon-possessed, haunted, dark things of the Native American tradition, and you do not go up against them. The stories of those who have beaten them are few and legendary. So the Native Americans held out much respect for these people because they were dangerous. And while you will find some living in the area because that's where there's a reservation is nearby and a few other things, if you try to talk to them about skinwalkers, they will not talk to you. But the Native American legends go back a long way, and they supposedly hang out in Dark Canyon. But, yeah, that's the area that all this happens in. Now, furthermore, sightings of UFOs of various sizes, shapes, colors go back over 200 years. I mean, one of the earliest things we know about the area.
Yeah.
Excuse me. My throat sort of got blue.
Yeah. Oh, I gotcha. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
It's okay. But one of the first things we know about the area is the Dominguez and Escalante expedition traveled through the Maitan.
What was that? Just kind of sounds like you threw a whole bunch of letters together.
Their names, Dominguez, Escalante. The Dominguez and Escalante edition. Their names.
Their names of people?
Yes. Last names.
Oh. Okay.
I was going to say, it kind of sounds like Hispanic.
Yeah.
Maybe Mexican. Spanish,
probably Spanish coming up through Mexico.
Yeah, something like that. That's kind of what it sounds like.
So, and they went through the Skinwalker Ranch area, traveling through the Maitan Mountains, and they reported lots of disturbances. So, this area has a recorded history of not goodness happening for a while.
Right.
So it'd be even before the family, because that's where we're moving towards. That's where
we're moving to the Shermans, and the Shermans are probably the most famous owners of the ranch.
Right. That's where most people know the name from. But we're trying to give the background that, this is from before this hit mainstream media, before it was purchased by some rich mogul person who had the money to put it out there in media and make it a well-known name. This has been a hot spot before your average everyday Joe knew about it.
Right. So, that we've it's a loose history, but we now know the background of the area that we're dealing with.
Sure.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a moment for a word from our sponsors.
Gotta love our sponsors.
Gotta show them some sponsor love here on our 50th episode. Yay!
50th episode.
Krysta, what episode is it?
50th.
Yay! Honey, what episode is it?
Well, it's only like my 30th, but for the podcast, 50th. Yay!
Okay, so we're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to hear a story from one of our listeners, Gina Harris. It's a great story, and it'll give us a moment of lightness, because a lot of the stuff that's coming up is going to be kind of dark.
I see.
We'll need that moment of lightness. So, here we go. Take it away, sponsors. It's 50 episodes and sponsors and everyone. I'm so proud.
Were there sponsors all the way back at episode 1?
Yep. We had sponsors on episode 1.
Yes, we
How
did.
about that?
Well, Anchor. Our sponsor at the time was Anchor,
Well, true enough.
which was what we were on.
Okay, then.
No, we
But I wasn't here, so, I'm still trying to get the...
You've been here for most of these.
Okay, let's... Officially, I was here,
But she wasn't
talking. So, officially, while I may have been here, I wasn't here. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So, this is from Gina Harris, one of our listeners. Now, I don't know if she has a podcast or some other side hustle. If so, I would love to comment on it. Gina, if you hear this, just let me know. I'm happy to promote anything you do. Thank you for your story. Now, the story takes place the week after her mom died. Now, her father had died 2.5 years prior to that, and her mom had huge trouble living without him. All she wanted was her husband back, which I've known widows like that, and it's heartbreaking. So, Mom had passed. She was back at the family home to start cleaning it up to sell it. She arrived on Friday night. She was planning on spending the weekend working. And as she went up to the darkened stairs, she got a little scared. She'd be spending the night in their bedroom, the room in which each of them had died. And as she crept toward the closed door, the fear increased. Her heart's beating, she's starting to sweat a little bit. She's getting that fear going the way you do. And you're just like, I got to turn this door handle because I'm going to do this. But I really, you're half expecting something on the other side to at you.
One of those, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So she pulled the door open slowly. Really slowly, because she couldn't bear to open it fast, which is the difference between me and her. Because if I'm scared, I'll rip the door off the hinges. Just wham! What's there? What? At least then I have a weapon. I'll hit you with the door. Whatever. Not her. She did it slowly, really slowly. When she'd opened it fully, she saw the room and it was glowing.
Cool.
And she very clearly heard, "Of course, this is your home." There's no one else there. She definitely heard the words, but there was no one there to say them. And she was never scared again.
Oh, that's sweet.
Isn't that a sweet story?
Good story.
Yeah. I really like it. It's very positive. Because
It is very positive. And that's how it should be.
Because, and that not every interaction with those who have passed has to be terrifying.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
That's a wonderful tale of a loved one who's passed or family members who've passed. That's really that
was awesome.
Good experience, and so nice of her to share that with us.
So, let's go back to Skinwalker Canyon.
Go back to the dusty
Skinwalker Ranch.
Out western plains. Yeah, something like that. Well, I guess the ranch isn't on plains. It's more of a...
It's more of there are some plains there, but there's also mesas, and it's Utah, so it's kind of
deserty, rocky.
Right.
Gotcha.
So eventually, it is bought by the Shermans,